Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. So for today's reading, the prompt that came through on my walk with my aunt and uncle's dog Arlo is your divine birthright, why you're worthy of dreams come true. So it's as simple as that. Today we are working with a few beautiful flowers. We have these peach kind of off-white carnations. We've got some beautiful baby's breath, and we have China roses that are growing right out front. And you can choose from group number 1 with just 1 China rose, group number 2 with the 2 roses, or group number 3 with the 3 roses in a cluster. And I will see you in your reading. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to The Little Flower. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, I was on a walk with my aunt and uncle's dog Arlo, and the prompt that came through on that walk is your divine birthright, why you're worthy of dreams come true. So I am using these off-white carnations, some baby's breath, and our flowers that you had to choose from are called China roses. And China roses are symbolic of eternal spring and longevity. And I'm actually going to do a channeled message from the China rose that you chose. This is just one rose. The other group number 2 was a cluster of 2, and group number 3 was a cluster of 3. So you picked the singular rose, and let's just ask this China rose what it has to say to you today. Peace. You deserve peace. You deserve calm. You deserve to feel settled with where you're at in your life. There's a sense of understanding coming through here. Understanding that and a recognition that it's been tough and it's been hard to accept where you're at in your life. It's been hard to accept the present moment because you're not exactly where you want to be, or you're feeling feelings of scarcity or lack, like you're missing something, or you have been missing something. So there's an understanding, there's a deep empathy coming through, an understanding coming through for you. I know, it's been tough and it's hard to embrace where you're at, but I promise you, every micro moment that you stay present in your life, that you sit in gratitude for your life, is going to deepen you into a place of worthiness, a place of joy, a place of peace, a solid ground to sit on, to stand on, and a place of opening to receive all the beautiful blessings that are meant to come in and pour through you and around you and with you and all about you. So it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort to find peace in presence with what is, even if what is not what you wish it to be. There's a way, and it's a rooting into your soul. It's a rooting into faith and a knowing that no matter what it looks like on the outside, the truth can be found on the inside. The truth of your worthiness, the truth of what is meant for you can be found on the inside. Right now, here in this moment, you're being called into a deepening into that truth. That is what will serve you the most. Stop looking all around you and seeing lack. Stop looking all around you for signs. Stop looking all around you for information from the outside world to tell you that you're on the right track, because you're not going to find it out there. You're going to find it within. Take time every day to look for it within. Look for reasons things are working out. Look for reasons blessings are coming in. Look for reasons to be grateful. Look for reasons in places that take the things that you're taking as proof that things aren't working and twist it and find a way to take that as evidence that it is working. There is a way. Find it. Beautiful message from the China rose. Powerful rooting into your faith and what you're meant for. I'm feeling this threshold, like I'm feeling you at a precipice of a shift, a timeline shift, a quantum jump, a quantum leap, and mind you, when I say quantum leap, I don't necessarily believe in like instantaneous quantum leaps that materialize, which I'm sure that's possible. This would be a quantum leap you've been working on, that's been taking time. And this is something that you're breaking into a whole new threshold. So there's a lot of resistance. And with the message coming through the rose, take what looks like proof it's not working and find a way to make it proof that it is working. The message here is that this resistance, this internal, I heard dialogue or whatever's going on in your mind and your heart that's telling you that things aren't changing, that they can't change, that certain dreams can't come to fruition, that certain events won't unfold, that certain blessings aren't meant for you. Take that as proof that you are just hitting resistance. And especially the more powerful that resistance is, the more true and the more close is your breakthrough. You can do this, and it's going to be through determination and through self-trust and through digging deep within. That is what's going to get you to the next level. Going within, diving deep, being honest, being truthful with yourself, letting your emotions flow, letting reality flow, letting your frustrations out, letting everything be as it is, and then wait and sit and allow the truth to emerge. Reality for what it is. You are on the precipice and the brink of solid change in your life. Okay, so that is your initial message stemming from the China Rose. And I love also that the China Rose is red. It is a deep, beautiful red, which is a root chakra color, which is a color of earth element. It is something that feels the energy feels very grounded, stable, sure, very human. So it's feeling like this shift is really happening like in a cellular way for you, at the core of your DNA. Things are shifting. So your experience of life is shifting. Your ability to hold a certain amount of frequency or light or blessings or abundance is shifting, opening. Your containers is widening. So that's interesting. Let's just go ahead and get into the Moonology messages overarching theme card. And yours is Moon Circles with support. So something that could help you strengthen your faith in where you're going is reaching out to like-minded people who believe in your cause, your mission, your manifestations, your path, your dreams, who believe that they can come true. Reaching out to them and expressing yourself to them, expressing where you're at, expressing the resistance, expressing your frustrations. Because when you're reaching out to like-minded people, or people, maybe people you look up to who have already attained what it is you're walking towards, they could tell you, I've been there too. I've been right where you are. And trust me, it is a sign that things are changing. This can even be reaching out to people online. This can be following or watching videos of people you look up to who have inspired you on your journey. This can be literally just reaching out to them and maybe they'll reach out back. This can be finding groups, finding just camaraderie, finding places that you can go that make you feel connected, that make you feel like people understand where you're walking, like understand the why behind what you're doing and what you want. You are being called to find those people who would truly get the epitome of your desires and your faith around those desires, who wouldn't doubt them, who wouldn't squash them down, who wouldn't scoff at them because they're unrealistic or they're not possible. We're looking for people who believe, who are supporting you, who are uplifting you, who are reaching out a hand to pull you up onto the level that they've already made it to. Find those people, because having, even online, having those words in your ear of those messages from people who are encouraging you to go after your highest ideals and dreams, that is going to support you so much on this journey. Don't underestimate listening to other people's voices who have made it, reading books from people who are encouraging you to manifest your dreams or abundance or whatever it is you're looking for, love, whatever it may be, reaching out. Yes, even reading books. There's so much support for you on this journey from other human beings. And in whichever way that you reach out for that support, it is perfect. So remember to do that, and know that doing that will unleash a chain of events that will help you get to that next level. Okay, let's pull a couple cards from the Wild Offering Oracle by Tosha Silver. Okay, so your first message from Tosha Silver is being enough. The innermost heart says, you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. Yes, you are love. I think this goes in keeping with the China Rose message. You are enough, and life is enough right here, right now, in the in-between, in the space between where you were and where you're going. This is the perfect place to be, because without you walking here, without you confronting this challenge, this particular challenge in your life, you cannot get to where you want to go. You cannot change things without being in this moment. This moment is sacred. It is sacred change in action. As frustrating as it can be, as overwhelming as it can be, as downtrodden as you may feel when you listen to your doubt, when you listen to the internal resistance, this is where you're meant to be. You're meant to stand firm in your heart, deep down in your heart and in your being, and find that faith to see yourself through to the next phase. I have every bit of faith that you can do it. All right, let me grab the... Oh, by the way, I'm happy to have you here. You reaching out for support and me talking about even on the internet, I just realized I am included in that. So I'm here to help you on your journey of expansion, because it really does feel like this tight kind of ball of friction and resistance and maybe some past like patterning that is being broken out of right now. And it may be strong and it may be very convincing, but I'm here to tell you that it's just a wave, and all you have to do is remain strong in your faith and move forward. Even if you feel reluctant, even if you feel overwhelmed, still move forward and take the action steps necessary to get to where you want to get, even through all of those loud voices of this isn't worth it. Is it even going to go anywhere? Is this even going to work? You know, that kind of thing. Or am I even worthy? Keep going through all of that, no matter how loud it is. Those action steps are potent and powerful, especially in those times when you are overwhelmed by that resistance. You resist against you taking those guided steps is a resistance against the resistance. And I know that sounds kind of redundant. And I know a lot of people say you can't fight resistance with resistance, but in this case, it's like it's resilience. It's you deepening into your faith. It's not about, you're not resisting the resistance, like actively. You're not like, oh, I'm overwhelmed and I'm gonna. No, you are deepening into your faith and you're experiencing the resistance, but you just calmly rooting into your body and into your faith and taking calm forward movements, no matter how small. That is your resistance. That is what's going to move you forward. That is your propeller through this resistance. And maybe this resistance itself will somehow, like I'm seeing like a rubber band kind of like snap or like fling back. It's like, it's a feeling of this resistance is going to launch you forward, but you just have to move through it calmly, steadily, surely, even when it feels overwhelming. So your next message is confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado of the ego. You make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence, oh love. Grant me courage I never knew I had. I love that. And you have roses on this card, which I love. And I do love the leaves here as well. It is fall. It's in mid-October when I'm recording this, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, I like the prayer. Please fill me with your confidence, oh love. Grant me courage I never knew I had. I love this. I feel like you're facing just, I heard like decades old resistance, like energies that have been stuck in you for so long. And they're finally, like they're trying to have their last say and clinging and grasping, but you're moving forward in faith, in knowing that things are meant to change and they are going to change. And these voices that they just seem so loud, you know, and it's like, you know better in your soul. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull a couple cards from the Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, we have two here. We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? And we have Soul Family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yeah, there's a lot of energy around just the truth that there are so many people who believe in you and who support you and who are willing to give you words of encouragement, uplift you. Whoever's coming to your mind right now, reach out to them. Talk to them about your frustrations, because I guarantee you they're going to build you back up and they're going to give you the energy and the strength that you need to take one more step forward. How can you mother yourself? That's interesting. I wonder if there's a part of you feeling kind of left out, I heard like left out in the cold. And I think you're meant to nurture yourself. I'm seeing someone putting lotion on their body. I'm seeing someone take a bath. I'm seeing someone go do a sauna. I'm seeing someone put a face mask on. I'm seeing someone doing yoga at home and doing the slower yoga and listening to their body through the yoga, not just plowing through it. I'm seeing someone taking calm, steady steps into presence in their life. There's an energy here of you shifting and being the parent that you need, being the mother that you need, the father that you need, the encourager that you need. Find that voice within, because it's there. I'm feeling it come so easy as I speak. You speaking to yourself, saying, I know it's really hard, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. You're going to make it to the other side. You're going to create this dream. The money's going to come in. The love's going to come in. The people are going to come in. The dreams are going to come true. You get to have it all. I promise you. It is real. Your dreams are real. You did not get those visions on your heart for no reason. Yeah, like that encouraging voice exists as a part of a fixture of who you are. And you perhaps haven't had enough time to yourself or spaciousness to get to the point where that, like a point of quietude, where that voice is coming through, is present. And it just feels like it's been more the loud, doubtful voice that's been taking up the most space. But I promise you there's another voice inside that's way more powerful. It may feel more quiet, but it's so much more powerful. This voice speaks truth. This voice speaks new realities into existence. Reclaim that part of your voice. I'm thinking about, I mean, this might just be me speaking now, like not necessarily channeling, but I've been listening to affirmations a lot. And after a while, they started like not resonating as much, and I giving me a little bit of like anxiousness, and it just making me think all of a sudden, oh, maybe I'm meant to create my own affirmations, internally. Maybe those like external affirmations do help when I'm having a hard time finding that voice. But there's this feeling of, no, I already have that affirmational voice within that is way more fine-tuned to hear exactly what my soul needs to hear. What truth truly resonates with my soul that's going to help me reprogram my subconscious. So yeah, I think there's something there with you finding access to that voice within. Let's go get into the tarot. All right, let's pull some from the Floral Tarot. Oh, I haven't used this deck in a while, so I'm pretty excited. All right, so we have, the Three of Swords. I think that makes sense. I think there's a bit of heartbreak in a way that things haven't turned out the way you'd hoped up to this point. And there's something there. I feel like there are some emotions that are meant to be poured out around that, and some frustrations or whatever it is. There's a voice inside that, I think this is it. So that loud voice of doubt and frustration, and the voice that's basically holding you back or making you feel like things can't happen the way you dream them to happen, or you desire them to happen, or you've believed them to happen up until now. If this voice of doubt is coming in, there's something underneath it that's more from the heart space, that is an emotion-backed experience. It could be your inner child being frustrated. It could be just some part of you that's fed up or annoyed, or it could be there's a powerful emotion underneath it, and you're meant to let that emerge and let that pour through you, and listen to that part of yourself, because they have, even if the emotions are overwhelming or a lot or uncomfortable, there's wisdom that lies underneath those emotions, and you're meant to tap into that and find that, because that's going to be your key to moving forward. Because if there's some resistance coming up, then I think it's for a reason. I think it's because this part of you needs to be on board with your movement forward. And if they're not backing you, or if they don't understand the movement forward, then they might keep holding you back and creating that resistance. So it feels like I don't know if you ever heard about people, like in psychology, they talk about like part therapy, where you can talk to different parts of yourself. Like, okay, where's this emotion coming from? Oh, it's coming from my heart space. Okay, what's it saying? How does it feel? Let it come up, and then have the dialogue. Oh, I heard that word dialogue earlier. Have a dialogue with that part of yourself. You can even journal it out, or you can just meditate and listen, or you can just vow to listen over the next few days or weeks, and just make sure you're paying attention to what's going on there, so you can hear the voice. It's literally a part of your soul that's wanting to speak to you. So open up to that and let those emotions pour forward, and just listen. That a part of you needs listened to. We have the King of Pentacles. Wow, you have everything you need to move forward. And you are moving forward into abundance, into a grounded abundance, a secure abundance. You are moving forward into any manifestation you're creating right now is already rooted in the earth. This flower just feels, I don't know why, it's just a flower on like an image of a flower, but with the crown underneath. It feels secure, it feels rooted, it feels grounded, it feels safe. It's already rooted. Something's already taken root. Something's already been secured for you. And there's no changing that, no matter what the tides feel like of your emotions, no matter what, like, unless you literally give up and you stop moving forward towards your dream, it's already secured. We have the Page of Swords, new ideas coming in. We have the Nine of Swords. We've got some fears. Ooh, Six of Swords. I like how there are 3 swords cards in the center. We have the Ace of Pentacles. This is interesting too, because this Ace of Pentacles, she's pulling the flower out by the root. And it looks like this flower that I said was already secure and rooted. So this is interesting. This almost is giving me a vibe of we're uprooting something in our life that is taking up the space of the soil of our soul. And I'm not really attributing, like, this isn't the typical meaning of the Ace of Coins. But the message here is you are uprooting old fixtures that held you in place at one point, that gave you security at one point, but the roots were shallow. And they helped you and they served a purpose, but you need that space in your root system. Like, it could even be a weed that, you know, could eventually take over and cause problems with the true manifestation of your dreams, of your dreams. So there's a feeling here of allowing things to shed away that aren't serving you, allowing old, like, mental processes that you are kind of clinging to uproot. And just the way this hand is just reaching down and lightly plucking it out of the ground, and all of the roots are coming out. It's time. You're ready. You're so ready to just rip out some of the weeds and just throw them out. And for some reason, I think that voice, that parts conversation we were talking about over here, that voice is clinging to these old structures, these old systems, like mental systems, whatever they may be, something in your life that you've been allowing to bring you some semblance of security. It's time to go. So we have to get that part of ourself on board. So that conversation with ourself is going to be very, very important. And then we also have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, like there's like a defensiveness or like a protectiveness around something that's ready to be uprooted. And there's a fear around that with the Nine of Swords. And that's totally understandable. And we can't rush this process. It's sorry, this is such a weird analogy, but it's like I'm thinking of a hoarder who has things they're clinging to, but as everyone knows, you can't just throw away hoarder stuff. Like, they have to have that internal dialogue and agree to let the thing go. That's obviously an extreme version, but the essence of it is that's an extreme version of clinging to physical objects, right? Or to things that don't serve you. So ultimately, I feels like there's a fear, and it might not even be conscious. It feels subconscious. It feels like it's underneath like in your heart space, underneath some heavy emotions or frustrating emotions. So like digging in there and sorting through that and listening to that, and then getting that part of ourselves on board so we can, like, all of you can move forward into the new energy, the fresh energy, the dreams that are meant to come true for you, the blessings that are meant to come in, the love that is meant to come in, the money that is meant to come in, the home, the whatever it is that is meant for you, and that not only will fulfill your physical needs, but it will fulfill your soul's needs as well. Those things are meant for you, and all of you needs to be on board moving forward. So I do believe there's a way to, with the Six of Swords, there's a way to, through this communication with this part of yourself, there's a way to effortlessly and smoothly allow yourself to be carried into the next phase of your journey, and to let go of the past with grace, with love. You know, sometimes it will take a little bit of mourning, sometimes it will take a little bit of just experiencing the heavy emotions of letting go. But you'll soon realize just how important it was to do that. And when you're in the new energy and all of you is on board and all of you is there, you'll be so grateful. And I love that this is a picture of three, they look like children, but three little girls, and they're walking away and into the moonshine. And it's making me think of the Six of Swords card. You have people who are moving forward with you. You're not going to be alone on this. In this, you've never been alone in this. There are so many things you're bringing forward into your life that are foundations, relationships, places, people, and things that are really truly, they serve your soul. They've always served your soul, and they'll continue to serve your soul. You're bringing those with you too. So you're not losing anything. You're only gaining. You're just letting go of things that caused resistance, that caused frustration, that caused, I even heard loneliness or heartbreak, or caused a lack of freedom, or that just held you back from being your truest self. So ultimately, though, I do want to remind you before signing off on this, I have a couple cards I will pull for the final message, but I do want to remind you, continue to do the parts therapy where you're talking to different sides of yourself and making sure that all parts of yourself are on board for the next phase of your journey. We don't want to leave anything behind in our past. We don't want to leave parts of ourselves in places with people from our past that aren't serving us. So just realize and know that you have the power to claim all of your power back, to claim all of who you are, and bring it all into this present moment, no matter how uncomfortable this present moment is, to bring all of you here, right here, into your body, onto the earth, exactly where you are, the location that you are, just into your body in the now, and to know that you're not leaving anything behind. And then your next step is the most potent, powerful step, because all of you is backing it. So your next step into dreams come true. So I'm going to pull a few cards from the Harmonious Tarot for a final message, and that will be that. This reading is very aesthetically pleasing. I'm looking at it in the little viewfinder thing for my camera, and wow, this is beautiful. The colors flow so beautifully together. I love that the orange is reflected over here and in the center, and then the reds. Beautiful. Very balanced. All right, 3 cards for a final message for group number 1. And I like that you're group number 1, and you have the Ace of Coins here, the Ace of Pentacles. You have a new material reality coming. This picture is someone pulling the roots and something out that's not serving, but they're planting a new seed. That is why they're pulling it out. They're planting a new seed, and this new seed is going to grow into something. And this is interesting because we did talk about how with the King of Pentacles, how you're secure. Something's taken root already. Some beautiful, amazing seed that you planted. I mean, it could even be years ago that you planted and that you've tended to and that you've nurtured is beginning to grow. And I love this because it's giving me the idea of planting a garden over time or planting a forest over time. And it's like things you've planted in the past are starting to come to fruition now, but you moving forward and leaving space in your garden to plant this new seed is going to be something that comes into fruition a couple of years from now or 10 years from now. But you're always planting seeds, so there's always something on the go, and you're always tending, and that's why balance is so important. That's why nurturing yourself is so important, because you're always tending to something, and it takes time, and there are seasons for everything. Just attribute it to that. It's your garden, you're growing. There are seasons for all of it to be dormant, and then there are seasons for it to grow in abundance and to harvest. And there are times for it just to bloom and be beautiful and be amazing and attract so many beautiful birds and butterflies and bees. And there are just different phases, and just believe in that so much. So if you're in a dormant phase, know that this is a time of increasing fertility, and it's so important. And it's a time of nurturing and slowing down and just deepening into your faith. Okay, so your 3 cards. Ooh, you have the star. Well, this is called the stars, which I love that it's called the stars because it's multiple dreams come true. Anything that your little heart desires. Sorry, I'm not trying to be patronizing. I don't know why I said your little heart. That could be meaningful to someone. I've never said that. But anything that your heart desires, your soul desires, is meant for you. Any dream or vision that's dropped into your body that resonates or resonated at a core level to you, it is absolutely 100% meant for you. Everything has a time. That's it. It just all has its own time. And I just feel such a deepening into trust for this group, a deepening into the knowledge that every single phase, every single moment has a purpose, and that things are still moving under the surface, and you can trust that. But also when there's stillness, you can trust that too, and you can take that as an opportunity to rest, an opportunity to take care of yourself, an opportunity to regroup and realign to your highest values and morals. Okay, let's pull another one. 10 of Swords. So 10 of Swords is a card of painful endings. So that's a little tough. I do feel we did have that energy present during this. It's a feeling of letting go, like a hard letting go is coming through, a very tough and emotional letting go. Sometimes for some of you, a heartbreaking letting go, a mourning that has to take place. And this does, a lot of times mourning does come in waves, but it's so cleansing for the soul. I feel this water element coming through and flushing your heart and just helping you to make sense of everything, helping you to come to a sense of completion, a sense of knowing that this is exactly what's meant to happen and that beautiful things are on the horizon and what's meant for you won't pass you by. All right, your 3rd card is the Hierophant. Interesting. Well, not what I would have expected. 5 is a number of change. The Hierophant is number 5. The Hierophant typically represents like a hierarchical structure, or like sometimes it can lean into religion and dogma. It's seeking wisdom outside of yourself. I like to think the true epitome of the Hierophant is a surrender to ancient knowledge and wisdom that is integral to who we are, that is true to who we are. But again, it can lean into that dogmatic kind of seeking outside of yourself kind of energy for guidance. And I think there's just a final little message. It feels like I don't want to use the word warning because that seems like harsh, but it's like moving forward. Okay, the message is moving forward. Be sure to consult your own voice. Be sure to align with what truly resonates with your soul. And any external voices or resources that you use to help guide you, be sure and know that your inner compass is 100% your number one source of guidance above everything else. So if there's something that comes in that's trying to guide you in a direction, that's presenting itself as authority, and it doesn't resonate, we need to trust ourselves. We need to speak, even if our voice is shaking, against energies that are trying to pull you in a direction that aren't resonating to who you truly are. So there could be moments of the external world trying to push you off course. And maybe, we spoke about external, like looking around us and not having the support we need, or looking around us and taking everything as proof that things aren't working. Maybe there are even external voices of people or energies that don't believe in your dreams, don't believe in the path you're taking. And there's a strong reminder here to stay true to the course, stay true to your soul's compass, and trust in who you are, and trust in how far you've come, and know that just around the corner is a significant shift and change for you that's going to help validate your path. So trust in that. Keep going and doing your thing. Believe in yourself. With the Seven of Wands, that makes sense for what I was speaking of just now. That is a defensive take, a protective take. Yeah, I think you're meant to protect your energy and protect your path and be defensive about that. Not necessarily, that sounded, maybe don't be like defensive, like negatively defensive, but just keeping that in mind. Like, I need to defend and protect what I know to be true. See, that's the tricky part. As I say this, when we're in these energies, like the energy that came through in the beginning of the reading was doubt, frustration, like doubting your path. And so I could see how that would leave you vulnerable to external authority, quote unquote, authority figures that are trying to lead you somewhere. And maybe they don't intentionally lead you astray, but maybe they really truly do believe. Yeah, they do. That's what the Hierophant is. He believes his truth is truth. So this authority energy might think they're doing something for you that is beneficial for you, but you know in your heart and soul that it's not right for you. So I could see why this message is coming through at the end. It's like a stern, like, hey, protect your path. Be assertive. Be honest. Be truthful. Protect where you're headed, and know that you don't need anyone outside of yourself to tell you that it's okay. Alrighty, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. This was a lovely, beautiful message. I am honored to channel it for you. Please go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe. It's really helpful for my channel, and I really appreciate it if you do so. But otherwise, go ahead and listen to my outro for more ways that you can be supported by me. Thank you so much. Bye. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick-a-flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment, a sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower. So for today's reading, the prompt that came through is your divine birthright. Why you're worthy of dreams come true. So group number 1 was really beautiful. I'm excited to get into group number 2 here. I'm going to do a channeled message from the China rose, sorry. The flower that you chose for group number 2 is a cluster of 2 China roses. And the China rose is symbolic of eternal spring and longevity. Long live your dreams come true. Long live stability and sustainability in your dreams come true. But I'm going to go ahead and do a channeled message from this cluster, this mini cluster of roses, and see what it has to say to you. Your dreams are assured. Your manifestations are assured. Whatever you're working on right now, it is assured to be a success. Trust in where you're going. Trust in what you're creating. Trust your gut. Trust that fire that comes in your gut. Trust your solar plexus. Trust. Some of you may have strong fire placements, and if you don't, the fire element is really coming in strong right now. Passion, fire, push. There's a feeling of riding a wave of inspiration, riding a wave of excitement and freedom, knowing where you're going, being excited about the unknown, not needing to know what's around the next corner, and knowing that it's going to be something good because God has your back, the universe has your back. What's coming is so much better than you could ever dream because it's real, because it's truly real. The dreams you have nothing on reality, have nothing on the truth that awaits you, the materialization of these dreams, these manifestations on your heart, on your soul. Those things have nothing on reality. What's around the corner is true and real and grounded and you. So trust where you're going, keep going, and let go. Let go of the things that once gave you comfort but you know are outdated and not serving you anymore. Let go of old ideas of what you expect is gonna happen for you, because it's gonna be different. It just is. But it's gonna be so good, and it's gonna be more you than you've ever felt in your entire life. I'm feeling love here, like a relationship coming in. You did pick the cluster of 2 roses, so that could be a really positive omen and sign for those of you who are manifesting a partnership or a relationship. All right, let's put this beautiful rose cluster of 2 roses right here atop our reading as a lovely presence. And I forgot to mention, I keep forgetting to do my little spiel, but if you haven't been to my channel, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with the tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. Just wanted to get that out there. But we're going to go ahead and get into the Moonology messages card that is going to be your kind of overarching, or maybe even like a grounded theme to the reading. So let's see what you have. Okay, yeah, I think this makes perfect sense. The moon's wisdom with take the lead. We did have that fireball energy, that plowing forward, riding this wave of creativity, inspiration, knowing where you're going, but not knowing where you're going. Trusting where you're going, but trusting that anything's possible. Trusting in your co-creator, the divine. I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Wild Offering Oracle. You know where you're going. You know that good things are coming for you. You have an amazing vision and an amazing dream on your heart and soul. And it's mind-blowing because the vision you have is so beautiful, but the materialization is even more beautiful. So it's mind-blowing that this, like when you enter into the next phase or the materialization of the visions you have on your soul and your heart, it will be much more amazing and miraculous and beautiful and enriching than you could have ever thought or dreamed of. And that word real kept coming through with the rose message. It's real. The reason it's much better than you could ever dream is because the dream on your heart it's real, but it's not grounded, it's not in the material. But when it comes to the materialization of everything, That's true. That's real. That's right in front of your face. And what's right in front of your face is beautiful. And it's just never what you would have thought it would have been. But it's everything you could have ever hoped for and more. All right, we have direction with, Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body. And if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. Yes, may I hear the promptings of my own body. I love that for you. There's a very strong guttural calling that you have. This makes me happy too. I like that the prayer is saying, please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. I like the idea that you could pray for a physical sign to show up. And when that physical sign shows up, trusting in that and moving forward on that. Because of course the sign would have to resonate at a soul level, not in just, is that the sign? Like, let me take that and twist it to make it the sign. It's more like it's unavoidable and it's unignorable. The sign that will come in is so deeply resonant and so out of this world, crazy coincidence, crazy miracle, that you can't ignore it. So I would say, actually, let's pray this right now. We're just going to pray this whole prayer. And so you don't have to pray this with me, but I'm really feeling called to do this. Like, this is your prayer right now. Okay, Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body. And if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. That's powerful. I love that. That gives me a sense of security. I like that protection energy at the end. If for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. You are protected by God. There's a message here, though, that your relationship with God, with the universe, with your higher self, however you resonate with the divine, so take it as it resonates. I say God, but your relationship with God is an integral piece of the puzzle of your creation of your life, your creation of your dreams. So with that fireball energy and that passion energy that I was getting, I could see you trailing off into this passion and then getting off track a little bit and kind of landing somewhere and just being like, how did I get here? I feel like I'm off course. Like, how did I land here? Because you like getting carried away kind of thing. It's making me think of like needing a containment, like a controlled burn, right? Like how with prairie land, they do controlled burns. It's something that's very purposeful, done very intentively, and they're very protective and very conscious of how they're doing it. There's technique, there's a particular way that it needs to be done so it doesn't get out of control. So this is the containment of fire. So this is interesting. Metaphorically, this would be you building the fire pit, building the brick structure, like building or taking on the techniques to make sure it's a controlled burn. So this is interesting. I'm not exactly sure where we're leading or where we're heading with this message, but let's dig a little deeper and see where we're going. So we have companionship, which I love for you. We did talk about, maybe that is about a relationship, like a controlled burn, like passion, getting off course. That's interesting. I wonder if this is my group who, when they're falling in love, they fall really hard. So let's just read this. When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Okay. So I believe we're being pulled in the direction of a relationship reading, which I don't typically do relationship readings, but sometimes when I channel messages, it becomes a relationship reading. So with the controlled burn energy that I was speaking about, And I'm seeing a figure 8, like a balance, like an infinity sign and a balance. I like that it's talking about solitude because that's making me think of balance, solitude within relationship. Like there's a feeling of entering into a relationship and still loving and blessing your aloneness or your solitude, and still knowing that will always be a part of your journey. No matter how intimate your partnership is, you'll still have those times of solitude or need those times of solitude. This is, and the controlled burn, it feels like a breath of fresh air. I believe that a lot of you in the past have had stars, like shooting stars that burned out really fast, that kind of energy with relationships. And what this is entering into a relationship that feels right, that feels balanced, that feels calm, that feels steady, that's very intimate, that's very connected and honest and truthful, grounded, peaceful, safe, steady, sure, complementary. Like someone in the relationship is the fire and someone's the steward of that fire, like the person who knows how to do the controlled burn of the prairie land, right? And you're the fire of the prairie land. And the prairie is the relationship. I don't know, I'm probably going too far into a metaphor. But as I enter into this relationship, the energy of this relationship, it's just so enriching. It's just so balanced. It's just like I feel a weight lifted off my chest, a lightness in my heart, a knowing that I'm right where I'm meant to be, that I'm seen, that I'm heard, that I'm honored, deeply honored. That's how you both feel in the relationship. That's what you're meant for. That's what you're walking towards. You are so ready to enter into this relationship, this union, this companionship. It's meant for you and you're ready. Open your heart, open your soul, and know that divine timing doesn't care about your timeline. So there's someone who's meant to come into your life soon, and even if it feels too soon, it's not. Because again, there's an element of divine timing here. Even if you don't feel ready, you are. Trust in that. There's a healing that's meant to take place between the two of you. There's a deepening into... Okay, so I heard a deepening into one another's consciousness, which that's vague, but the energy that came through after I said that, or heard that, is, okay, so what you have in your soul and what you've cultivated in your soul in your life is exactly the space that this person needs to heal a part of their soul that's been wounded in the past, and vice versa. There's something, just the strengths in each of you are the quote unquote, I wouldn't call them weaknesses, but just for sake of finding words for this, the strength on your end is their weakness and their strength is your weakness. So you complement each other very well. And your very presence with one another heals those aspects of each other. So there's a beautiful harmony between the two of you. There's a settledness. There's a deep gratitude. Both of you are so grateful to have found one another. You're both a breath of fresh air to one another. And you both validate one another. You both are so deeply grateful for the other that you would, it's just a daily gratitude, you having daily gratitude for them and them having daily gratitude for you. And there's just such a mutual appreciation and honoring. And it's just a divine union. It's just a beautiful divine union. It's harmonious, it's balanced, it's calm, it's safe. It's the safest home life you've ever experienced. And it's meant for you. It's your divine birthright. This is what you were meant to find in this life. You were always meant to find this. Let's pull a couple more cards from the Work Your Light Oracle. Aw, my heart is singing a little bit because this is a relationship reading, and it's actually making me want to do a relationship reading coming up soon. I think I will. I don't like to do them just because there are so many relationship readings on YouTube, and a lot of them I just think they can whip people up into like a Delulu land, and especially when it's like, how does this person feel about you? And it's like, this person, like, you can't really pry into someone else's energy. But you can you can tap into a union, for instance, that's meant for you. Or you can tap into the texture of your love life and the direction and the timeline of that. Like, I believe in that, but I don't believe in tapping into another person's energy and prying, because not only is that kind of a violation, but it's also a feeling of, I mean, I'm not judging anybody who does these, or this is just my own personal preference for me having integrity around my readings, but I just feel like I think for healthy people who are balanced and really grounded and in tune with their intuition and who are able to take it with a grain of salt, I think it's fine. But I think there's a lot of vulnerable people who can listen to those, and it becomes like a delusion. It can become a delusion. So that's my worry. But I think I can do it in a healthy way. So maybe I'm going to do one soon. But for now, we are here in your reading. Sorry I went off on that spiel. I don't know if anybody needed to hear that for some reason, but let's get into your reading here. This lovely, harmonious, balanced, grounded union. And, you know, we were speaking a lot about that, the materialization of your manifestations, and your manifestation is a partnership, and how it's going to be way better than you can expect because it's real. You know, maybe that like little message about tarot readings about love is relevant, because you can listen to tarot readings about your next love, you can dream about it, but until it's right in front of you, you really don't know what it's going to be like, or what it's going to look like, you know, who it's going to be, the textures of that person. And it's an adventure all on its own. Why would you want to know? You know, it's going to be, the relationship itself is going to be an adventure. So that's, yeah, just the unexpected. Be open to the unexpected, but also be open to the reality that it's going to feel like home. So we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And then we have Dance, with do something to shift your vibration. So I think there's an energy here of letting go, just letting go and trusting and dancing with life, and knowing that if you just dance with life, and I love this companionship card, but also it's talking about solitude. I just think that you are meant to dance with life right now. You're meant to have fun. You're meant to be free. You're meant to be expressive. You're meant to try new things. And you embracing your beautiful freedom and expansion is what is going to land you in the arms of this person that you're meant to be with. So I'm going to pull some tarot from the Floral Tarot and see what else is coming through. Yeah, like I do think you have this short little period of solitude, like of not necessarily maybe singledom ahead of you. And I think you're meant to live it up, like enjoy this period of time and get to know yourself even more deeply, because this partnership is coming. It's inevitable. But your life up until this point has had so much value, has had so much like there's so much life inside of you and expressiveness, and you're being called to lean into that. And again, try new things and have fun, go on little trips, whatever it may be that makes you feel alive. Go listen to live music. Okay, so we have, ooh, I love that, the star. So in the context of a relationship reading, this is like the epitome of the divine partner you've always looked for, like the most harmonious, the most compatible, the best case scenario. And I do believe with this, a lot of this talk about solitude, if you have spent a lot of time being single or a lot of time cultivating your knowing of who you are on this journey, it is so well worth it, because you haven't allowed yourself to compromise who you are to fall into a relationship that wasn't going to reflect to you your highest timeline, I guess. I don't know what the right wording is, but this is someone who challenges you and pushes you to be better. This is someone who comes into your life and turns it upside down, and in a good way, and pushes you outside your comfort zone and sees your worth more than you even see your worth. And that's why it's been amazing for you to cultivate this sense of self, because they're going to help you continue to do that. And you are going to do the same for them. You're going to push them. You're going to challenge them. You're going to uplift them. Of course, you'll be that safe haven and that calm in the storm, but you'll also be that push for each other to live their highest dreams, to make the world a better place to the utmost that their soul can, like to live their soul's highest purpose. You are in a relationship that helps you do that. So we have Ace of Wands. Exactly. I mean, you inspire each other. There's a lot of creative energy existing between the two of you. Let's keep pulling cards. Ooh, King of Coins. Nice. We've got Five of Cups. We've got, ooh, interesting, the Death card. We've got the World. And finally, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The World card has this infinity sign on it, which is just a confirmation for that energy that was coming through earlier. So I've been sitting here for like 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm looking at the timer. I just restarted it. It's 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And I felt kind of stumped because, well, you know, to be honest, I saw this Five of Cups and it's in the center of your deck. And the Five of Cups is a card that can be about disappointment and lack and mourning and loss. And there's just a sadness kind of coming through that I was resisting channeling, but I want to touch on it because it's here. We've got some kind of intense energies over here. We've got we've got two major arcanas over here. We still have the Stars, the other one, but the Death card and the World card are over here, and they're both cards about transformation, really, and completion and endings. And I think, and with Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And if this, and if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me in the prayer. I think there's an energy of being disappointed with how things have turned out thus far, disappointed with perhaps a person or maybe even multiple people throughout your life. And with the Death card being here and the World card being here, Death being about that transformation, that rebirth, World being about completion, being about fruition, I'm just getting, and then the Knight of Pentacles is this long-term, slow and steady, taking forever kind of energy. It just feels like you've been disappointed time and time again. And there might even be a giving up kind of energy present. And you know what? I feel like you're meant to lean into that, because not that you're leaning into the giving up completely and saying, I give up and it's done. It's more lean into those emotions of, I want to give up. You're meant to lean into how you feel around this. You're meant to listen to your disappointment. You're meant to listen to the internal confusion around what happened in the past with other relationships, potential relationships. And you're meant to process that and alchemize that to help you really just heal for yourself. I don't even feel like this is about the relationship that's coming, which it is coming. And you don't need to be healed for this relationship to come in. But this is about you. And this is about your journey and what you're worthy of. And there might be a lingering in past energies of disappointment and wondering why things went the way they went. Wondering why, if maybe sometimes you were so sure about something, or like there's just a space in your being, and I feel it in the heart space as I speak, that needs attention. You need to, even if it feels like ruminating, even if it feels like just being disappointed, even if it feels like you're sad when you go to these places, it's meant to be like fully processed and understood, like to completion with the world. You're meant to come to a place of acceptance for your past relationships and how they went. That doesn't mean that the ways you've been treated are left off, like they're off the hook. It doesn't mean that anybody's not being held accountable. It just means that you've come to terms with what was, and you're ready for what is and what is to be. And so you move forward on that. But yeah, I think there's just parts of you. This came up in group number 1 too. This is so interesting. And I don't even really talk about this a lot, but I don't know if you've ever heard of parts therapy, where you talk to a part of yourself and you have a dialogue with a part of yourself. And this feels like that. It feels like there's a part of you existing in this disappointment still. And that part of you underneath all of it needs to come on board moving forward into this new companionship that is meant to be for you. And again, it doesn't feel too urgent necessarily. I think this relationship will come in one way or another. But this feels like love and care, you taking care of yourself for yourself. This doesn't have to do with whether or not you end up in a partnership. This has to do with you loving yourself, caring about yourself, and honoring yourself in all of it, and releasing the grip or the hold that any ill treatment of others, from others, has done to your heart. It's about you freeing yourself from all of that and knowing none of it was a reflection of who you are. And you reclaiming what's underneath that, which is your own purity, your own love, your own extension of faith in another person. That's all you. And you get to bring that forward with you into the next relationship. And that gets to land in the heart of someone who honors it and who's grateful for it. As we said, who is so appreciative of it. So bring that back into your body. That is you. That is an extension of who you are. And it's beautiful. And move forward feeling whole in that. There might even be what was left behind, a feeling of maybe you think that was like a flaw of yours, to maybe believe too much in someone or overextend yourself to someone. And maybe you've doubted that part of yourself and seen it as a weakness, when really it's a strength and it's a gift. And it's just you gave it to you put it in the wrong places that weren't ready to honor it. They couldn't honor it in themselves, so how they're going to honor it in you? But yeah, it's a beautiful, pure, amazing part of who you are in your heart and what you have to give. So you're meant to honor it as such. Okay, so with the King of Pentacles, it keeps coming back to my mind, but I think this person you're going to meet, and this doesn't have to resonate with everybody, I think they're going to have money. Like, I think they're going to be steady and stable and secure financially. That came into my, literally every time I look at it, that's the message that comes into my mind. I'm not a huge specifics channeler, but I'm more of a underlying intricacies of your heart and soul, kind of thing. But that keeps coming through. But yeah, beautiful. I love this whole reading so far. I'm going to pull a few cards from the Harmonious Tarot, which I love for you. Harmony feels like the word for your partnership that's coming. And then with Dance over here, that keeps coming to my mind too, of maybe the two of you will dance together. Maybe that'll be a part of your existence, part of your life. Maybe both of you like to dance. Alrighty. Ooh, and then with companionship and direction, it felt like the two of you come together and somehow you are each other's not moral compass, that's not the right word, internal compasses, and like you merge as one compass, and somehow the two of you are leading each other in the right direction even more than you already were. I don't even know if that can make sense, but that's what it's coming through as. Like you both, like your true north sharpens even more intently, and your both ability and willingness to follow that true north strengthens just by you being together. Okay, 3 cards from the Harmonious Tarot for one last final message here. Whew. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a love reading soon. All right. Ooh. Oh, I thought it was the Empress. This looks almost like the Empress card. But just because I did think that, I'm going to channel it as both the Queen of Wands and the Empress. And oh my God. I swear to you, I did not look. The fucking Empress came out. Oh my God. And then I looked up and the camera timer said 1250 and 1251, and 1, 2s, and 5s are my number for like divine partnership and union. So, oh my God, what the hell? This is amazing. And I love that it's the Queen of Wands and the Empress, both very powerful feminine figures. Let me pull one more card, see what else we got. Aw, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Okay. So I feel like you're still in this partnership going to be the main character of your life, and they're going to eat that right up. Like there's a feeling of, I kind of like this Knight of Swords feels protective. Like they're just going to protect you and your lusciousness and your power and your divine feminine light. And it just feels like your inner strength and your confidence, they want to see you light up, and they want to see you become abundant. They want to see you unfold into your highest potential, into your highest purpose, into your highest expression of love on this earth and abundance on this earth. And they're going to like fight to the death to make sure that you have that opportunity to do that. So, and again, there's that reflection of pushing too, in a way, like not pushing, I don't think that's the right word, but like challenging and just pushing a little. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of a push, like for you to step out of your comfort zone at times because they believe in you. They believe in you so much, and they know what you're capable of, and they know that if you just do the thing, you'd prove it to yourself just how powerful you are, how capable you are, what you are capable of achieving and creating. It feels so purposeful too. Like you have a purpose, and they want to see you live that out, and they know that that's going to bring you fulfillment. So it's not just a push for the sake of pushing to see some achievement. It's a push for the sake of seeing you create the most positive change on this planet through your gifts, through your light, and through your love, knowing that that's what's going to fulfill you the most in your life. Wham bam. Okay. All right. Anything else in these three cards? Just so much abundance. I love that the Empress is in the center. You both will be living in an abundant, fertile place. But I also feel a sense again of purpose. So it feels like a place of recognizing your privilege and using that privilege for the good of humanity. And that is that true north inner compass energy that's going to come forward. You'll both magnify that for one another. Your purpose will be deepened, magnified, and supported. It's important that you two actually come together for a purpose. There is a purpose for you, ultimately. And that's what that true north compass energy was. I think there's something that you're meant to create together. So, okay, and I kind of love that this is covering up the top portion of the Five of Cups, and there's just two little flowers here, and it's like it's the two of you, and they're like little raindrops. It feels so cleansing, and I don't know, it just feels good. But yeah, I think this is it, group number 2. You just have a beautiful partnership ahead of you. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's lovely, and I'm excited for you because I feel like the two of you are going to make the world better, and so I'm grateful for that. So yeah, alrighty. Thank you so much, group number 2. I am honored to channel these messages for you. Please like, subscribe, comment if you feel called to. Everything helps me out so much. But otherwise, go ahead and listen to my outro to see other ways I can support you. Thank you so much. Bye. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick a flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved. Hello, lovely human. Welcome to the Little Flower. If you haven't been to my channel, my name is Krista, and I use the presence and essence of flowers along with a tarot to deliver messages to help you align to your most authentic and abundant nature and path. So for today's reading, the prompt that I channeled is Your Divine Birthright, Why You're Worthy of Dreams Come True. So you chose group number 3, which is the cluster of 3 China roses. So the China rose is symbolic of longevity and eternal spring. So love that symbolism. Typically the China rose, roses in general are about love as well, self-love. So I want to throw that in there as well. And I am going to do a channel message from the flowers themselves. So let's go ahead and see what this cluster of 3 China roses has to say. Your life is expanding in a beautiful direction. Sky is the limit in what you can create. You are free. You are truly free on this planet. You've always been free, and it is your faith that guides you into that freedom. There are so many things that can convince you that you're not free, that you have limitations, but they're only farces. They're not real. And the challenge is to hold on to that faith, to act on that faith that you are free. Continuously. By doing this, you create waves in the world around you. You open doors for so many. By you fully believing in and acting towards your freedom, you open the pathway of more freedom on this planet. You leave behind you, when you leave this planet, you leave so many doors open. You've shifted the frequency of the planet. Stubbornly believe in your freedom. It's always been yours. Okay, so that's a really beautiful message. I love the message of expansion and limitlessness with the number 3, like the 3, well, your group 3 and the 3 flowers here. But ultimately, there was this message of anything that tells you you're not free is a lie. And there can be systems and structures on this planet that physically take away your freedoms or try to take away your freedoms, but it's still a lie. If you believe that your freedoms are able to be taken away, then you're just playing into their game. If you claim your freedom, even through imprisonment, even through seeming like authoritarian structures that are seemingly taking away those freedoms, if you play into that and believe that they have the power to truly do that, then they will have the power to do that. We're all creating this thing. So the message here is that you can reclaim your power and you can reclaim your freedom from any energies, like outside structures, systems, people that you have given that freedom to. You can reclaim it and you can take it to your grave. You can hold on to your freedom throughout your life and open doors for more people to have that as well. So for me, this looks like, of course, living on planet Earth, where we're at now. There's this, from my perspective, there's this push and pull against the structures that be, the powers that be, the people who have claimed all of the power and the financial resources and everything, and then the people, and I feel like there's been a power imbalance. And I feel like we as a people have given away our power in a way. And I do believe collectively we're claiming it back. And you're a part of this collective shift. You're claiming your power back. You're claiming your abundance back. You're claiming your freedom back. So let's go ahead and just see where we're going with this. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card from the Moonology Messages Oracle and see what else comes through. And we have drawing down the moon with knowledge. Interesting. So I'm getting like activist vibes a little bit. Doesn't have to be, but with drawing down the moon with knowledge, I'm getting a message of become educated on what you care about. Become truly educated. Learn more about the earth. Learn more about power structures. Learn more about money and how it works. Learn more about underprivileged people. Learn more about how people are abusing power and using it. There's this feeling of understanding the way power works on this planet and within humanity, and you finding that knowledge and learning more about it. Sometimes it's gruesome truths, and you learning more about how it's being abused, power is being abused on this planet to oppress people. You learning about the ins and out, moving forward in your life is going to serve you in some way. It's going to serve the planet in some way. There's something you're meant to do with that information. So just kind of, if that's something you're actively doing or you do, it's something you're passionate about, then this is just a confirmation that you're on the right track and that you having this knowledge is not going to be for nothing, and it's going to be used in some way moving forward. It's going to come in handy in some way. So it's a part of you taking your power back and taking your freedom back. So interesting. I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Wild Offering Oracle. So this feels like a group of people who really want to make a change on the planet, not only necessarily for the planet, but for themselves too. This feels like a group, like you are someone who wants to experience freedom. It's as simple as that. Wants to, like, financial freedom, the freedom to speak freely, the freedom to create the life of your dreams, to create the life that you want, to attract in what you want, but also the freedom to create change, the freedom to make a difference, the freedom and resources to make powerful change even. So awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your service, whatever you end up doing. Okay, so couple cards from the Wild Offering, group number 3. All right, we have, ooh, I like this. It goes hand in hand with freedom. Spaciousness. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me in, or what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. Okay, so immediately I'm feeling a sense of like the heart space being cleared out, the heart space opening up, experiencing like being able to take a deep breath and just fly. With the butterfly here, it's like coming out of your cocoon and just flying. And that's where you're moving it. Like that's the space you're moving into moving forward, is this feeling of anything's possible. I'm going to float on these winds. I'm just going to go around and gather nectar from these beautiful flowers. You're really entering into a summer phase of your life, of freedom, of peace, of harmony. And as hard as it can be to let yourself experience that, you're meant to. With knowing, especially with you and the knowledge factor, pulling in and knowing what's going on the planet, it's more important than ever that when you do find your freedom and when you do find your peace, that you really fully embody it and you really fully let it into your cellular capacity. Really fully embrace it, because this is the door. You're literally opening a door up in your body and being, in your cells. And it's because you're a part of the collective consciousness of humanity. You're opening a door for others as well to enter into that freedom. So when you find the courage to let that freedom truly in, you're saying it's okay, it's safe, we can be free. You can be free. The most oppressed person can be free. When you feel the courage to experience that freedom and that joy and that expansiveness, you can stand there in that space and you can say, extend your hand out to the person who's oppressed and say, you can come here too. I'm going to do what I can to make sure you can come here too. It's that energy. It's standing up from a high place and reaching your hand down and pulling others into the space you are. Okay, the next card from this deck is health. Allow me, divine, to be tender and accepting of my body, no matter what ailments I may have. May I always know it's doing the best that it can. Help me be a loving ally and friend to this sacred form. Beautiful. I think your body, there's something with your body shifting the frequency of your body, pulling your body up into a higher state of being, and healing your body through spiritual practices and spiritual means, and shifting your subconscious, shifting your beliefs, and that having this amazing, powerful, miracle healing effect on your body. So those of you who might be dealing with heavier things that are going on with your physical body, those can be healed. And while it's important to have obviously the physical, support, whether that be through nutrition or through medical support, it's also even more so deeply important to shift the frequency of the body in a way, and the beliefs that hold a space which allows for that illness to take place in the body. So finding a balance between shifting your awareness and your capacity for freedom and letting that download into your body is going to be very healing for the body. That's the message there. I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Work Your Light Oracle. Safe and soothe. Those two words kept coming in my mind. You're safe. You are soothing, soothed. Safe and soothe. Safe and soothe. Your presence, your willingness to step into this embodied freedom creates a sense of others to feel safe doing the same and feel soothed by your presence. Feel soothed by the hope that things can change for them too. You're a very inspirational person. You boldly go after what you want. We have unbound with releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, which group number 2 had this in the exact same location. And then we also have, wow, interesting, no. Wait, postpone, pause, and say no. Those are very, they're kind of complementary in a way. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, and wait, postpone, pause, and say no. Ultimately, it feels like you are unwilling to compromise your values, your morals for any level of quote unquote freedom. You know that no freedom is true freedom until we are all free. And that is your voice, that is your message, that is what you leave behind on this planet. Your work for others is going to be, or is already, astounding. And this is true humanitarian vibes. You can do so much for others, and it just starts, like, if for those of you who have this inkling that this is a part of your soul, and who want to make a difference in the world and create more freedom for humanity, you have it in you to do it in your own unique way. And all you have to do is follow the little breadcrumbs in front of you, as small as they are, as small as they seem. Any little action that you take in the world, any little gift that you give to someone, word of encouragement that you give to someone, the simplest little things can lead to such amazing, massive shifts, can lead to amazing, look at Greta Thunberg. I don't know if that's how you say her name, but she started as someone who was a teenager, and she was sitting outside some like parliament building or something, and she was on strike from school for the climate. And look at where she is now. It all started from one simple act. And that's how it is with you. It starts from one simple act of defiance, of truth speaking, of giving, of encouragement, of love, of lifting someone up for no reason, gift giving. It just starts with one small act, and it snowballs from there. So don't be afraid to take that first step. And if you've already taken that first step, then you know. But I want to say keep going, because it's going to unfold into something amazing. Let it unfold into something amazing, something bigger than you. That's what you want. You want the divine to take over your little action steps that don't seem like a lot, but the divine can use in powerful ways. Can work through you in powerful ways. You just have to be a willing channel. All right, let's pull some tarot cards from the Tarot Flora. All right, we have the 3 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Coins, the 4 of Swords. Love this so far. The Knight of Wands. Ooh, the Empress. Nice. The Four of Wands. Damn, this is beautiful. And the Ace of Cups. Holy moly. This is a beautiful reading. So there's such a balance. Okay, so the first thing that's coming through is community. Is people gathering around you in support. People having a fire on their heart for the same fire that you have on your heart. It is a collective mission that is coming together as one. And whether you're a leader of it or just a member of it, it doesn't matter, because the energy of it doesn't have to do with one individual person. It has to do with the collective. So whether you started it or you're just joining it, it doesn't. There are no egos involved. It's about the mission. It's about the truth being spoken. It's about the love being shared. It's about the transformation that's occurring, and you're a part of it. So that's the first energy that came through, was this feeling of being at home in a group of people who are acting on a certain cause. And that's what that Four of Wands and Three of Cups can both be about celebration. And this is a celebration of humanity. This is a celebration of freedom. This is a celebration of knowing that what we're doing means something and that it truly is changing the planet. This is people coming together in joy, knowing that the truth will always reign and succeed, and the truth will always be revealed, and that true positive change is occurring, and we're a part of that. That love is spreading and growing, truth is spreading and growing, knowledge is spreading and growing. In this day and age, we need grounded facts and knowledge. And you're a truth speaker, and no one can deny what you speak and what you say. It's grounded in reality. This is what we need. There's a balance here with the Four of Swords being about self-nurturing and rest. The Four of Wands a lot of times being about a happy home life, and the Ace of Cups being about self-love and just overflowing positive emotion. There's a balance here of you knowing that what you do on this planet means something, but also recognizing that you're allowed to also ground into your own inner circle in your life and have a life of calm and peace and grounded love and family and joy and pleasure. That's what the Empress is all about. It's about abundance and pleasure, wealth, and I'm hearing music, and I'm like good music, good food, good people, good energy. Like you experiencing that and living in that in your life is a birthright. It's everyone's birthright to be able to live their life unencumbered by external oppression. And so when you find that again, and you will find that, or maybe you've already found that, embrace it, deepen into it, because this in itself is a defiance of what the world tells you that you can or can't do, or that anyone can or can't do. I know sometimes it can feel, there can be guilt associated with enjoying your life and embracing your peace and your protection and your privilege. But again, if we don't allow our body to, and our nervous system to align with that true peace and that true safety, then what are we saying with that? I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed because this person's not allowed to. We're limiting ourselves because someone else is limited. That doesn't make any positive progress. While there is merit to suffering for a cause, denying ourselves pleasure when it's available to us out of guilt is something entirely different. So you're being called to work through that guilt and deepen into safety. because we need you to do that as a collective. We need our collective nervous system. We need that happening in our collective nervous system. So don't be ashamed to do that. Don't be guilty to do that. Just trust in that. Let it in. We need that. You're just making room for more people to experience that. Experience that. And you're like, I'm seeing like flowers grow and a garden grow, and I'm seeing like fertile land spread and just beyond you because of it. It's like a root thing. And it spreads beyond you and into the world around you, so other people have access to that fertility as well. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Knight of Wands, that's just a go-getter. That's your center card. It's passion. It's going after what you truly believe in. And that's who you are. Oh, this is cute. There's a sailboat here with the Two of Coins and some waves. And it's making me think of that Freedom Flotilla. And I mentioned Greta Thunberg, but the Freedom Flotilla that went for Gaza. And this is the energy here, this activism, this wanting to change the world. So it's just a cool symbol. I don't know if you've heard about that. If you haven't, you should definitely look it up, because it's an amazing act that they did. They took humanitarian aid on a fleet of boats, people from all over the world. And they went and tried to break the blockade that Israel had on Gaza to bring them humanitarian aid. And they all got illegally intercepted, and they got they got imprisoned. And from what I've heard or seen, like just treated very poorly and even kind of tortured, it seemed. And that's kind of what I was talking about. Like, there is merit at times to do the right thing and to suffer for the right thing and to make a statement. There's a place for all forms of activism. But there's also that time to deepen into safety and knowing we're all meant for that. And and maybe it could be a practice that when you are in that safety and that calm, you could speak prayers into that space and reach your metaphorical or spiritual arms out to pull others into that sense of safety as well. Maybe there could be some spiritual practice you do within it that could help you, process it even more and deepen even more into it. That makes you feel like you're bringing others into that space and giving them that, that lift up that they need. I hope that makes sense. Kind of not sure what I've never done that before, like in a meditation or anything, but it kind of makes sense. Like, if I were to think of how that would unfold, it would be like you're meditating, you're sitting and deepening into safety and security, and then maybe visualizing those people who are oppressed, and visualizing them, finding freedom, finding true safety and protection. And that could be something that's really powerful for you in your journey of deepening into that. But yeah, I'm going to pull a few cards from the Harmonious Tarot and get a final message, and that will be that. Okay, so we have, the Nine of Cups. That's beautiful. It's a wish fulfilled. It's this emotional contentment. It's a joy and a happiness and a pleasure. You are really being reminded that life is about pleasure as much as it's about creating beautiful things and changing the world for the better. It's about deepening into love and pleasure and companionship and art and freedom and fun and joy and dance and music. And then we also have the Two of Wands. And then thirdly, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is making me think of the knowledge message we had as well. So moving forward, what's going to serve you and the world around you is education. And Two of Wands is about planning ahead. So this is a reminder, we're circling back to the beginning message that came through of learn as much as you can about the topics that you're most passionate about, whether it comes to and this feels like kind of activist territory, like animal rights, protecting the planet, human rights, etc. Where do you feel most passionate about? Learn more, download more, and do it in the, like, King of Swords can be detached. So that might be helpful for you to just take in information and try to keep your heart space, I mean, for the most part, try to have a detachment there so that it's not all consuming or overwhelming or devastating. There is a detachment. There's just it's kind of like a journalist or a news anchor who has to stay, like just deliver that information, take it in, use that information to move forward and forward your cause. That's the energy, just taking in words, information, truth about reality. Because you need it. I don't know why you need it, but you do need it. And with Two of Wands, it's about the future, planning for the future, looking ahead. There's something, you're going to need this information. So dig in, take it in wherever you feel called. Yeah, just a reminder. And I think that's it. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Okay, thank you so much, group number 3. As always, I am honored to channel this message for you. Please feel free to like or subscribe or comment if you feel called to, but otherwise, please listen to my outro to see other ways that I can support you. Thank you so much. Bye. All right, my lovely human. If you'd like to be supported by me more deeply through powerful energy healing transmissions that serve as monthly anchor points to keep you grounded and aligned to your most fulfilling and abundant path, along with access to a growing collection of exclusive soulful pick a flower readings, I'd be honored to have you in the sacred space of my Little Flower Patreon community. My intention is for this space to be a spiritual lifeline to healing, clarity, and soul alignment. A sacred container that leaves you feeling free and safe to unfold into your most authentic and abundant nature. I've made this accessible at just $8 per month, intentionally so as the number 8 symbolizes abundance, balance, and unity. If you feel called, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe to the Little Flower YouTube channel, as all of these exchanges help not only for my channel growth, but for me to feel connected to the fabric of the community who finds their way into the energetic space I've created. Feel free to browse my single infinite prayer energy healing transmissions, check out my adorable merch featuring my bee and flowers logo and the phrase, "Hello, lovely human," and leave me a tip, or in other words, buy me a coffee if you feel called to. Everything you'll need is listed in the description box below. Last but not least, I have another YouTube channel called Soul Hearken, which is my heart and soul in video form. If you feel called to it, I'd be honored to have you over there as well. With so much gratitude, I send you prayers of happiness, peace, health, and wealth. You are honored and loved.